Having been said, oh, y'all knew it was coming. This is bull.
Where does Jokic now rank in the pantheon? We have some breaking news in the NBA sphere. Nikola Jokic has just won his 3rd out of 4th MVP award. Round of applause for Nikola Jokic.
Is that a question?
Not a question. It's just more of a statement. And by 3 out of 4, I mean 3 in the last 4 years. He joins elite company. We're talking about the LeBron James of the world, the Larry Birds, the I believe Kareems, the MJs. Actually, I don't even think MJ's done something like that. But he just joins extremely elite company in doing so. This year, Jokic averaged 26.4 points, 12.4 boards, 9 assists, 58 from the field, 36 from the three. He led the Denver Nuggets to a 57-25 record, 2nd in the Western Conference. I know this is ruffling a lot of people's feathers on Twitter. How do we feel about Nikola Jokic?
He's a thief. Look, man, can I pull a Stephen A? I love Nikola Jokic. I think he's been fantastic for the modern era of basketball. Probably going to go down as at worst the top 2 offensive center, in my personal opinion. Maybe number 1 already, to be very honest with you. He's always going to be in MVP races the way that things are constructed for him, and that's fantastic. And even if he didn't win last year, which I really think he should have won last year, having been said, oh, y'all knew it was coming. This is bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. This bullshit out of me personally. Now, I get it. Y'all want to have your man takes? I'm not going to go there. You know who I think should have won this award. But it's like, I'm not fucking around this time. Like, it really should have been the GOAT. It really should have been Luka Doncic. I'm dead ass. At some point, we have to sit here and ask, okay, how much are we going to take this goalpost and then move it and then pick it up and then move it again, then pick it up, then move it again, just to say, yo, it can't be a certain player, man. The nigga averaged 34 points. What was it? 9, 8 assists? I don't even have the numbers to board. I don't even have the numbers right now. It was like 9 assists, 8 boards, something like that. Ridiculous efficiency. Ever since the deadline, this team has been on fire. And you're telling me that y'all told when he was like an 8th seed or a 7th seed that, hey man, maybe if he was 5, and then he got to 5. And then he got to 5. So honestly, I think this comes down to, what do y'all want? I just think y'all just didn't want it to be Luka. Luka got hoed. Luka got robbed.
Now, Shaq agrees with Sage, Damo, but it seems like you don't feel that way.
Oh no, right message, wrong candidate. It shouldn't have been Luka. I mean, 34 game, cool, but he definitely had a lot of help this year when it comes to Kyrie. We can argue that, I mean, other guys on the team were playing relatively fine. Any other time where a guy has won MVP that low, it has been overwhelmingly a carry job. Like, you have to historically carry. Now, again, I don't have Luka's numbers in front of me, but I know the narrative this season hasn't been what Luka is doing offensively is all-time offensive. Like, and if someone could tell me that, cool. If we can actually look at the season and you could tell me, oh no, Luka is having the 3rd best season we've ever seen from an NBA player, or you pull the advanced analytics out like they did with Jokic, his first 2 MVPs, and you could tell me, oh, since tracking this stat, Luka is blowing it out the water. If we can make those arguments for Luka, then cool. But to my knowledge, I don't think those arguments are being made or can be made for what Luka is doing. It's simply just a 5 check. I like Luka. Nah, man, the real MVP is SGA. We're talking about a guy that actually embodies everything that we want in the MVP from recent years in terms of having a great year, in terms of 30 points a game, leading the league in assists, and leading this team to definitely a better record than someone like Luka. We're talking about a team literally that was tied for this ain't right, is it? Tied for first? They were tied for first in the NBA in the West. Like, come on, gang. It genuinely, in my opinion, I'm with Sage. I don't think Jokic should be the MVP, even though he had a great year. But I'm definitely feeling like Shaq. I think SGA was actually the MVP of this year, not you.
Well, I don't want to ask B-Souls the same question to beat that dead horse. He won it, so we kind of just got to take it for what it is.
I got a different answer than everybody. So,
and I know you did. So that's why I want to ask you, with this win of this MVP, where does Luka? I'm not Luka. Where does Jokic rank in the pantheon? Where is he now?
I think he's established himself from a 4-year peak perspective that he is like a top 10 all-time talent. And yes, I'm talking about player, not just centers. And I do think depending on how, the rings game matches up for the rest of his career, how his game ages, those are going to be the determining factors. But if we're talking about like, peak for peak, Jokic deserves to be in that conversation for me. Three MVPs in 4 years with a ring and a Finals MVP to back that shit up is crazy. And you can even argue the 1 year he did not win, he should have won. So that's what I have in that.
Put some names on those bullets. Who is he better than? Who is he right above, right below? Let's go ahead and do it.
All time right now, I don't think he's in the top 10 comfortably. The Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Hakeem, Curry, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, those names. But I do think he's definitely creeping up, if not already in the same territory as like the KGs, the D Wades, the David Robinsons, the Charles Barkleys of the world. Like he's in that tier to me.
Can I ask how high is he at his position in terms of rank position wise all time? Like if you do have him, do you have him top 10 center all time? And if you do, where is he at?
Off rip, I don't have like a list in front of me, but I'm thinking he should be in the top 10. But I don't think he's better than Kareem, Shaq, Hakeem.
Hakeem.
Wilt. I'm high on Russell. I know y'all aren't, but from an all-time perspective, I don't think. But after those 5, who else would be brought
David
up?
Robinson. Would you say David Robinson?
I think Jokic is better.
Said Shaq, right?
I said Shaq.
And just real quick before I get into Sage and Damo, the thing that separates him from like a Wilt or a Kareem or anything like that is rings, or what can he do to push himself into that category?
For me, it's just a bigger body of work, in my opinion. It's kind of like when Curry was peaking in 2016, 17, 18. Like we already knew from a peak perspective he deserved to be in that conversation, but he needed certain narrative things and certain records to be like, okay, if you look at the whole body of work now, bro got 4 rings, 1 without K, 2 with and without KD, like that type of shit.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a great question for Sage, because I know you felt like he shouldn't have got this one, and I'm gonna ask Damo the same question. Where is he all time? Quick hitter, above, below, and then where is he centers? And what can he do to move up?
Don't have like an approximate number right now, but I'd say he's in like the Kevin Durant range of all time thing, and I can flip flop who I want to rank above or below between those two, and that's going to piss a lot of people off.
Guys, the NBA playoffs are heating up, and I am excited to bring to you PrizePicks, the best way to play daily fantasy sports. All you're going to do is download the app, go to the website, and then you're going to select your players and make some picks. I'm going to go Evan Mobley, more on points, easy one. And I'm going to go Devin Booker, less on his PRA. I'm going to put some money in, $1 million. I'm going to go ahead and hit place entry.
And if you use code LKIB, PrizePicks will match up to 100% on your first deposit up to $100.
Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this episode.
You say the 10?
Is KD 10, 15?
Nah, KD not in the 10. So he's around the 15s. He's around the 15s for sure. If you need a number, but I don't have 15 names right to go. In terms of names that at the center position that I know I'm saying he's better than Bill Russell. He's better than pretty much a lot of these bigs outside of like the Hakeem. Look, I'll be nice to the era, even though I don't know 5 things about it. Will, and then obviously you got to go Kareem as well. Yeah, I can't ignore Kareem as well. Shaq, he's flirting, he's knocking on the door of that. But I'll say Shaquille O'Neal at this point in time because Shaquille O'Neal was just able to win so many. So at that moment in time, he's in that tier. But also, side note, I do not like that argument for SGA above Luka and Jokic at all. But I'm just moving.
Oh, well, we'll get into that. Go ahead. Why don't you like it?
You cannot like it. It's factual. I mean, if we're talking about, when Jokic won his first 2 MVPs, who was not on his team? Jamal Murray.
Your argument was especially coming from you. Your argument was about how Luka didn't have any Luka had substantial amount of help this season, but then we talk about the Thunder, especially your specific takes on the Thunder, how Chet and Wemby are basically the same guy. J-Dub, I know and you're a major fan of J-Dub. We talk about this team being so deep and so good that they don't need to trade up for anybody outside of maybe signing better talent, all that thing. The idea that the Oklahoma City Thunder aren't a team that's helping SGA is kind of crazy. And at that point, I would go towards a Jokic if that's going to put down Luka in the conversation. So I don't see how you get SGA.
And then I will ask you to take a step back and look at the conversation on Luka being a person who is a contender at getting MVP at the 5th seed. And like I said, guys who win the MVP at that placement historically, it's a certain narrative that goes with them. They have to do something so far and above historically when it comes to their performance. And you will look at the fact that they don't have help at that seeding to get the MVP. When we're looking at guys that low that won MVP, we're talking about a Jokic a couple years ago. He didn't have Jamal Murray. Historically, his numbers
in 2024, bro. Because we all four of us are the main people. Go ahead, my fault. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you don't have to like it. That's what the criteria is that the NBA has gone by. I am just going by what they have done. The last time guys have won that low, it has been Jokic and who? Westbrook. The reason they won, historic numbers and doing something historic, being the first guy to average a triple-double since Oscar Robertson, was the selling points to why they won, and the lack of help. That is the consistent thing. I'm just finding the consistent reasons why guys 5, 6, 7 seed are winning MVPs, and that's why Luka literally this season does not meet that criteria like they did. That's my argument.
Luka's numbers aren't historic. I don't even have Luka winning.
Yeah, I'm about to say first of all, and this is why I don't like that. This is why I don't like that narrative. First of all, 34, 9, and 9 on 10 threes a night at 38% and 48% from the field. I find crazy to consider that not historic. That's one. Two, the idea that you name Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic, dog, that's not even a decade span. We've been changing narratives of the NBA and talk about how, we need to get done with certain ideologies, whether it comes to these awards, whether it comes to how we view people in all-time conversations, all of this progression. But then when it comes to why Luka Doncic doesn't deserve an award, let's go back to the history books. That literally, that also factually does not make any sense.
Who are the last guys to win an MVP 5 seed or lower?
Bro,
who were the last ones?
I just said my point. I just said it. Westbrook, Jokic, but I just explained
before them. Who was it? Who was it before them?
Michael Jordan.
I don't fucking know Mike Jordan.
Man.
Am I fucking high? I just explained my point.
For Damo's question though, Luka's stat line is historic. Like Luka's singular.
In what way?
Nobody in the NBA has ever had a stat line like that. Literally, nobody has ever had a stat line that looks like Luka's with those numbers. I'm serious. I mean, I could 34, 9, 10, first in points, second in assists, 73-point game, 4th highest ever, which is pretty historic. I know you're not gonna say, for first 33-9-9 season in NBA history, most 30-point triple double since MVP Russ, first in 25-point games. This is all this season. Highest scoring season in Mavs history. Most points per game plus rebounds per game plus assists per game since the merger. Most consecutive 25-point triple doubles ever. Most consecutive 30-point triple doubles ever. Went from 11 to 5 seed. Most games missed by teammates among all playoff teams. Mavs first in clutch win percentage, and they have the 6th best record in the NBA. So this is really where I want to go with this question specifically, because I've been thinking about this on the way home about this concept as to what you have to do. And I'm pretty sure I can pull something up for SGA similar. What you have to do to win MVP in the Jokic era. What do you have to do?
Win and put up numbers competitive to Jokic's.
Yeah.
So a 50-game season with better numbers and -6 is not enough for you guys. So again, you would have to win more than Jokic and then have better numbers than Jokic concrete. That'd be
let me just get this off, because I was looking at the voting, because we've been having these discussions all year long. I truly do believe by the end of the season it was a 1A, 1B thing to me between Jokic and Luka. The fact that we are now at the voting and Luka is not even close. The second.
No.
That's what worries me. That's what worries me. Because I'm at a point where if you think Luka's MVP, cool. I personally got Jokic. because I feel like personally he has the best combination of stats and winning out of all the candidates, to be honest with you. When you're putting up a 25-point triple-double, crazy efficient, and have the first or second best record in the West, I just don't know how you... I feel like it's fine to give that guy the MVP. That's my whole thing. But yeah, to win MVP in the Jokic era is the same win and put up numbers that are competitive to Jokic's numbers. So that means Giannis.
Let me go
back. That means Embiid over the last couple of years. And Luka has the numbers. It's just the winning hasn't caught up.
Let me just clarify this for those that are going to listen to this later on. Nikola Jokic, 79 first place votes. SGA, 14 first place votes. Luka Doncic with 4 first place votes. You know what's crazy? I would just ask, because even Jalen Brunson being this low to me is like, man. I would just ask, if you have a vote specifically for MVP, you know, I'm all for just demolishing these awards because Luka had an MVP season. SGA had an MVP season. Ant had an MVP season. Jalen Brunson had an MVP. All these people had MVP seasons. I think you should be asked to submit a video or some sort of typed paragraph as to why you chose your guy. I think that would help a lot of people with their thought processes and their logic or whatever the case may be. Just, hey, submit a paragraph, submit a little video, 4 minutes, whatever the case may be. Why did you choose your guy? We hear it from Stephen A. Smith and stuff like that, but I want to know why so-and-so chose their guy. I don't want to hear, yo, he's the best player. No, I want to hear why you chose your guy.
Why do you have a problem with Brunson being that low?
I mean, what Jalen Brunson has done. If we're talking narratives, and maybe next year it'll be for him. Jalen Brunson has a lot of narrative stuff throughout all the injuries with this roster. This is not a star-studded roster by any means, shape, form, or fashion. To go out there and average, 29, a steal, 7 assists, 4 boards, still efficient because, you know, we have to skew what efficiency is. Second in the East, again, with all the injuries that he's had. His second best player went down, only played 46 games. RJ Barrett gone. Like this is a roster that has had 26 people on the roster this year. 26 people. That is not continuity. When we talk about who's had like the same roster every single year, this guy has had to go through a lot to get his team to where they are. So I think that's a lot of narrative push at least, but you know, I don't know what they be.
So you think he should be 4th? Because I don't think you even have him. Like I think for you the 3 is Jokic, Shea, and Luka at the very least, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I just think at the end of the day, for me, they're all MVPs. They are all. I know that sounds so dick suck, so Mickey.
No, we say that shit any other day of the week. It's just for this specific video.
Yeah, they are legitimately all MVPs to me. The things that he did this season is so impressive. And I know we don't take a confirmation in all the things that we see from the playoffs. This playoffs is only confirming what I've been believing. That guy is an MVP. That other guy in Denver is looking pretty fraudulent.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
I'm scared of that guy in Denver. I ain't calling him a fraud.
Does that matter? Does that matter to y'all? I know it shouldn't. I know we're gonna get killed in the comments. If they lose in this second round, does this matter going forward?
Oh,
with the MVP
so the discussion about MVPs going into postseason and then losing.
Yeah.
I think one thing we all certainly will agree, or well, I mean, I say certainly, but I think a lot of NBA fans should agree. The idea of releasing this award in the second round has always been dumb to me. It's just never made any sense. It's a setup of setups. You can have an MVP, a team having a regular season, and then they might already be swept out the league, and now everybody's like, "Huh? What the hell is going on?" So I think this is a setup award. I think at the end of the regular season during the play-in was a perfect window to announce these awards. But that's not really answering your question. If the MVP of the league is bounced out in the second round, yeah, that's always going to be disappointing, especially when it's not of an argument where you don't have help, but you are winning games. If you're on the argument where, hey, you're just putting up really good numbers on a top team in the league, and that's how you get your award, and then you go in the postseason. God forbid you personally sing it up, but that team falls. Yeah, that's just it's never a good look to lose, but it'll be definitely emphasized. I won't call Nikola Jokic a fraud, but damn, that's not a good look, gang. I'm sorry.
Damo, put a number on it. Where does Jokic now rank in the pantheon? Just number
of all time players. Yep, I would say, just if I got to put a number
above, below who?
Hard number without the list in front of me. 15. I got him probably 15th right now.
Above who? Below who? Just those ones.
Above Kevin Durant, below Bill Russell.
All right. B Souls.
Honestly, the same thing. I ain't gonna. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, below Bill Russell. I do have Bill Russell, but yeah, run there.
Okay. Much. I'm going to be a merchant, but different. I'm going to say below Kevin Durant, above Bill Russell.
At 15?
I'm going to still say I'll put them at 14. I think Kevin Durant's a little bit better than 15. So I'll go 14, 13.
I have him closer to 10. Don't know why people, I have him closer to 10. Probably below Wilt. Don't know why. And above, I don't know, Kevin Durant.
I'll give the hot take out, though. I ain't gonna lie. There's some days I wake up and I want to say above Larry Bird and below Wilt. Hey, there's some days, man. I'm being reserved only because currently at the recording of this video, he is 0-2 to Ant. Second round, we could see he might stink it up, yada, yada, yada. But there are some days I'm waking up, I'm like, yo, this dude is clearly on a different level.